My name is Marcus Webb, and I've been robbing houses since I was 17. That's 12 years of breaking and entering. 12 years of never getting caught. You want to know the secret? It's not about being clever. It's about being invisible. I'm the guy you don't notice at the grocery store. The face you forget 2 seconds after I walk past. Average height, average build, brown hair that's neither short nor long. I dress like I'm heading to a job interview at a call center. Button-down shirts, khakis. A forgettable face is worth more than any lockpick. My old man was a thief too. Got caught when I was 12. Died in prison 3 years into a 10-year stretch. Shivved to the kidney over a card game. Mom drank herself to death 6 months later. Foster care after that. That's where I learned the real skills. How to slip away unnoticed. How to lie without blinking. How to become nobody. I only steal from people who can afford it. That's my one rule. No apartments, no families with toys in the yard, just the comfortable suburban types with good insurance and alarm systems they forget to arm. I take enough to matter to me, but not enough for them to lose sleep over. Until the night I met David Rosen. I picked his house because it looked easy. Single-story ranch, end of a cul-de-sac in Thornwood Estates. The kind of neighborhood where everyone drives Audis and pretends their marriages aren't falling apart. No cars in the driveway. Porch light burned out for 3 nights straight. The guy who lived there kept weird hours. Left at dusk, came back near dawn. I'd watched him. That's another rule. Always watch first. He was in his mid-40s, maybe early 50s. Thinning hair, wireframe glasses, polo shirts tucked into pressed jeans. He drove a beige Camry and carried a lunchbox to his car every evening like a school kid. The most ordinary man I'd ever seen. Everything about him screamed harmless. That should have been my second clue. In my experience, people who try that hard to look harmless usually aren't. I went in through the back door at 10:47 p.m. 40 seconds with a tension wrench and a rake pick, longer than usual because the lock was new. Quality deadbolt. Weird for a house with no alarm system, but I didn't think much of it. The kitchen smelled like bleach. Not just clean, hospital clean, chemical clean. The kind that burns your nostrils and makes your eyes water. Every surface gleamed under my flashlight. No dishes in the sink, no magnets on the fridge, no signs anyone actually lived here. The living room was worse. Furniture from a catalog, arranged with geometric precision. Couch exactly 2 feet from the wall. Coffee table centered perfectly on the rug. Everything beige and forgettable. A tube TV from the 90s sat in the entertainment center. Who still had those? No cable box, no DVD player, no game console. No life. I checked the usual spots. Behind picture frames for safes, under couch cushions for cash. Nothing. The guy had $300 in a kitchen drawer, and that was it. The bedroom made my skin crawl. Just a mattress on the floor, no frame, no dresser. 1 pillow. Hospital corners on the sheets. White, pristine, tucked so tight you could bounce a quarter off them. The closet had 5 identical blue work shirts and 3 pairs of jeans. Same brands, same sizes. Like uniforms. On the nightstand, a digital clock showing 11:23 p.m. and a notebook. I shouldn't have opened it. That was another rule I broke. Don't get curious. But something about this place was wrong, and I needed to understand what. The notebook was a log. Dates, times, observations. Written in tiny, precise handwriting. October 3rd. Subject 12 released. Integration successful. No memory retention. Confirmed violent ideation at 6-month mark. Tracking continues. November 2nd. Subject 13 acquired. Initial resistance high. Standard protocol initiated. November 2nd. Subject 13 responding to treatment. Personality fracture achieved at 72-hour mark. My hands were shaking. I flipped to the last entry. Today's date. November 11th. Subject 16 proving difficult. May need to adjust methodology. New acquisition target identified. MW. 29. No family, no fixed employment. Ideal candidate. Begin surveillance tomorrow. MW. Marcus Webb. My throat went dry. I dropped the notebook. That's when I saw the basement door. Padlocked from the outside. Heavy-duty master lock. The kind you put on storage units. I should have left. Every instinct screamed at me to run. But he'd been watching me, planning for me. I needed to know why. The lock took me 4 minutes. My hands were sweating, slipping on the picks. I kept checking the time, 11:31 p.m. The door swung open to concrete steps leading into darkness. I flicked my flashlight on. The smell hit me first. Copper and rot and something else. Something chemical and sweet and wrong. I almost turned back. Almost. The basement was finished. Drywall, drop ceiling, fluorescent lights that I didn't dare turn on, and plastic. Heavy-duty plastic sheeting covering every inch of the floor. The kind painters use, except this wasn't splattered with paint. It was splattered with brown, rust-colored, dried blood. My brain tried to tell me it was anything else, water damage, rust, paint, but I knew. I'd seen enough crime shows. Then I saw the workbench. Saws, knives, pliers, scalpels, all arranged by size on pegboard, all clean, all sharp. Labels underneath each one in that same tiny handwriting. Subject 8, bone saw. Subject 11, arterial work. Subject 14, precision cuts. There was a drain in the center of the floor. Industrial, 6 inches across, like something from a slaughterhouse. The plastic sheeting sloped toward it. I should have run. Every muscle in my body screamed at me to run, but I was frozen, flashlight beam shaking as it swept across the room. That's when I saw the wall. Polaroids, hundreds of them, tacked to a massive corkboard that covered the entire back wall. Women and men, different ages, different races, all with the same expression, raw terror. All photographed against the same concrete wall. This wall. This basement. But it wasn't random. They were organized. Columns. Each column had a number at the top, subject 1 through subject 16. Each column showed a progression. First photo, terrified, recently taken. Second photo, broken, hollow-eyed. Third photo, blank, empty, like someone had scooped out everything that made them human. And then a final photo, them living normal lives, in coffee shops, at grocery stores, walking dogs, looking completely ordinary. Except their eyes. Something in their eyes was wrong. Subject 16's column was incomplete. Only 2 photos. A woman in her 30s, blonde. In the first photo, she was screaming. In the second, taken maybe days later, her face was slack, drool on her chin, eyes unfocused. Below the photos was a newspaper clipping. Local woman kills husband in sleep, no motive found. I spun toward the stairs. He was standing at the top. silhouetted against the light from the kitchen, completely still, just watching me with his head tilted like a curious dog. "Hello, Marcus," he said. His voice was soft, almost gentle. That made it infinitely worse. "You're early. I wasn't expecting you until tomorrow." My heart slammed against my ribs. "How do you know your name?" He smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. "I've been watching you for 6 weeks. You're very good at what you do. Careful, methodical. You follow patterns. Every Tuesday and Friday, you case neighborhoods. You never hit the same area twice in a month. You only take cash and small valuables. You're proud of your work." He took one step down. "You're also deeply alone. No friends, no family. No one would miss you for weeks, maybe months. You're perfect." I ran. Not toward the stairs. He was blocking those. Toward the back corner where I'd seen a window well. Small window near the ceiling, painted shut. I jumped, grabbed the sill, pulled with everything I had. Nothing. Sealed. Behind me, his footsteps on the stairs. Slow, measured, not running. He didn't need to run. "They always go for that window," he said conversationally. "I sealed it 6 years ago after Subject 3. You think I just remove it, but I like watching the hope die when they realize." I dropped, spun around. He was at the bottom now. Up close, he looked even more ordinary. Receding hairline, slight paunch, wire-framed glasses that made him look like a middle school teacher. He could have been anyone's boring neighbor. He was holding a knife, long, curved, fillet knife with a wooden handle worn smooth from use. "I'm sorry," I gasped. My voice sounded like someone else's. "I didn't take anything. I'll leave. I won't tell anyone. I swear to God." "You broke into my home." He tilted his head the other way. "That's very rude, Marcus. My mother raised me to punish rudeness." I grabbed a wrench from the workbench. Heavy, cast iron, 2 feet long. He didn't even flinch. I've had 8 people fight back. One of them even made it to the top of the stairs. Do you know what all 8 had in common? He took a step closer. I could smell him now. Soap and laundry detergent, and underneath something stale and wrong. "I've had 8 people fight back," he said. "One of them even made it to the top of the stairs. Do you know what all 8 had in common?" He took a step closer. I could smell him now. Soap and laundry detergent, and underneath it something stale and wrong. "They're still here. Well, parts of them. The important parts. The parts I needed." I swung the wrench. He moved fast, faster than someone his age should move, and the blade opened my forearm. Hot pain, blood welling up, running down to my wrist. So much blood. I stumbled back. He watched me bleed onto his plastic sheeting with the detached interest of a scientist observing an experiment. "That's going to make you weak," he observed clinically. "You'll have maybe 3 minutes before shock sets in. Your fine motor control is already compromised. I'd suggest running, but statistically, fighting makes the process more satisfying." It was a game. He was playing with me. I feinted left, then dove right toward the stairs. Made it 3 steps before his hand caught my ankle. I fell hard, teeth cracking against concrete. Tasted blood, felt a molar shift loose. He dragged me back down. Not roughly, gently, almost tenderly. "Most of them beg at this point," he said. "They offer money, sex, information. One woman offered to help me, said we could be partners. What will you offer, Marcus?" I kicked backward with my free leg, felt my heel connect with something soft. His stomach. He grunted. His grip loosened just enough. I scrambled up the stairs on hands and knees. Behind me I could hear him wheezing, catching his breath. Through the kitchen, toward the back door. Locked. He'd locked it behind him. Front door, living room. I could see it. Could see freedom through the window. Could see the streetlights. The normal world where people weren't monsters. I was almost there when the piano wire went around my throat. He yanked back. My vision exploded with stars. I clawed at the wire, felt it cutting into my fingers, felt warm blood running down my neck. "Shh," he whispered in my ear. His breath was hot and smelled like mouthwash. "This is the hard part. After this, everything gets easier. You'll sleep for a while. When you wake up, we'll begin the real work." I threw my head back, felt his nose crunch, cartilage breaking. The wire loosened. I spun, drove my thumb into his right eye, deep, felt it pop and give way. He screamed, actually screamed, and I ran. Front door, deadbolt. I twisted it with blood-slick fingers. It wouldn't turn. Wrong direction. I reversed it. The lock clicked. Behind me. "You're just making it worse for yourself." The door opened. Cold November air hit my face. I ran into the street, screaming. A car screeched to a halt. An elderly woman in a Volvo, phone already out. "Help! He's trying to kill me! Call the police!" She was yelling into the phone. I collapsed on her hood. Behind me, the house was dark, silent, no movement. The cops came. Ambulance. They were at my arm. 22 stitches. Asked questions. So many questions. I told them everything. Showed them the house. Detective Ramirez led the team. 40-something, tired eyes. He'd seen things. They found the basement, the plastic, the tools, the Polaroids, the notebook. They found Subject 16 in a hidden room behind a false wall, alive, catatonic, hooked up to an IV. They rushed her to County General. But here's the thing that keeps me awake at night. David Rosen, if that was even his real name, was gone. Vanished. His car was in the garage, but he was gone. No blood trail despite his eye. No footprints. No trace. The forensics team worked the house for 3 days. They matched the Polaroids to missing persons cases going back 15 years. 19 victims. All found eventually. All found alive. Living in different cities, different states, new identities, new lives, functioning, working jobs. Some had families. But 12 of them had killed someone. Murdered them brutally, with their bare hands. Spouses, co-workers, random strangers. No apparent motive, no memory of doing it. Detective Ramirez came to see me 2 weeks later. I was staying in a motel. Couldn't go back to my apartment. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't close my eyes without seeing that basement. "We found something else," he said quietly. "Behind the drywall in the basement, a room we almost missed." I waited. 19 coffins, custom built, all empty, all with nameplates. The names matched the victims in the photos. So, where... That's the thing. He looked exhausted. "We found the victims. They're alive. They're fine. They just don't remember. But each of them has exhibited violent behavior. It's like he put something in them, some kind of programming." "What are you saying?" He leaned in closer. "I'm saying we never found him. The deed to the house? Fake name. Utilities?
paid in cash through a post office box. Security footage from the neighborhood, corrupted. Every camera, same night, same hour. He put his hand on my shoulder. And I'm saying you should leave town. Change your name. Because whatever he does in that basement, it's not just killing people. He's breaking them, rebuilding them, turning them into something else.
I took his advice, changed my name to Michael Torres, moved to Portland, got a job as a janitor, stopped stealing, stopped taking risks. But sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, standing in my kitchen, knife in my hand, no memory of getting there. Sometimes I have thoughts that don't feel like mine, urges I've never had. I'll be walking past someone on the street and I'll think about how easy it would be, how soft their throat looks, how surprised they'd be. And then I'll blink and the thought is gone and I can't remember having it. Last week I found a notebook in my apartment, under my mattress, in that same tiny, precise handwriting. Subject 17, Marcus Webb. Integration progressing ahead of schedule. Memory retention 73%. Violent ideation emerging at 4-week mark. Personality fracture stable. Release protocol initiated. I burned the notebook, but I know it doesn't matter. Because here's the twist I didn't see coming. I didn't escape that basement. I never left. Everything after the piano wire, the rescue, the police, the hospital, moving to Portland, I have no proof any of it was real. No hospital records, no police reports with my name. Detective Ramirez doesn't exist in any database. Last night I got a letter. No return address. Inside was a Polaroid. Me, standing in someone's kitchen, blood on my hands, a body on the floor. I don't remember taking that photo. I don't remember that kitchen. But on the back, in that tiny handwriting, Subject 17 performing as expected, proceeding to Phase 3, new acquisition target identified. Stand by for instructions. And underneath it, an address. Your address. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I think I'm supposed to come see you tonight. And I don't think I can stop myself.